Today, we're discussing a topic that's fundamental for both your health and your wallet. Part 9: Plastics and Plastic Particles. Their discovery, their introduction into consumption, main industries that use plastics, how plastic materials are prepared, item groups imbued with plastic materials for everyday consumption. The after effect of plastic consumption into our environment, air, earth and water, our food, our clothing and everyday items. Statistics of the quantities of plastic we use every day, the quantities of plastics we dispose in landfills, the amounts of plastic particles we consume and the health, financial and well-being effects. Have the industries that use plastic changed to a more sustainable way of replacing plastic materials? Have they made futuristic plans? If we stop using plastics today, when is plastic going to cease existing as a threat to life itself on Earth? This is a continuous part of the previous series that uses knowledge to inform you about the propagation of health, financials, and general welfare of our species. Why are we interested in your well-being in general? There is positive correlation of great health and well-being into greater physical and mental performance. There are many articles, including one from Corporate Health. If one suffers from ill health, the performance will be reduced. It will lead into you focusing all your energy to improve physical health. So, if you are unwell, you will possess less time to focus into more achievements in life, including personal and spiritual growth. We are living in exceptional times nowadays. There is large mass of population that have been sleep-induced and have given away their power and their freedom of action. We should admit that this has happened in mutual agreement. We are intelligent beings, and as such we have knowingly and willingly given away our freedoms. Yes, we were deceived, however. We are intelligent beings and we have to use our brain to identify what is our well-being and who is assisting us to achieve better health and wealth. It is obvious that the difference between the wealthiest and the poorest has never been bigger. It is also very obvious that the middle class is reducing and thinning every day to the point of no return. The person that earned $100,000 4 years ago is roughly or more than 40% poorer due to price increase of all products and services for this consumer, interest rate increase, and illegal tax hikes. Now, many of us are now recognizing the gravity of the situation we jointly have created and are beginning to take action to address the serious trouble we're in. So, it is time for you, me, and all of us to act now. If you act 1 minute later, it just might be too late. Back to improving health. We often hear that organic or natural products are expensive. However, the reality is that it can actually save you money in the long run while enhancing your overall well-being. We have discussed general tips how to save money in the first part. We have discussed the benefits of eating organic, non-GMO, and pesticide and chemical-free foods. In other videos up to video 8 we have discussed chemicals into our cooking appliances that extend into the earth, air, and water, the hazard ingredients on our food and cosmetic products. Today we are starting another delicate topic, plastic consumption behavior, which will be in the next few episodes. Our video today is discussing plastics and plastic particles. When plastics were discovered for the first time, how were they introduced into the general product consumption? How plastic materials are prepared and the industries that use plastic and plastic particles. The next episodes will go deeper to discuss the use and effect of plastics and how all affect your lives, your general well-being, and your financial well-being. You will find links for the today research and topic. Let us start, Part 9. Title: Plastics and Plastic Particles, A Journey from Innovation to Environmental Challenge. Introduction. Plastic is one of the most transformative materials of the modern era, shaping industries, economies, and daily lives. If it was not harmful, it would be inspiring. This versatile, durable, and cost-effective material has become indispensable, but it has also brought along significant environmental challenges, especially with the rise of plastic particles and pollution. In this video, we'll delve into the fascinating history of plastics, how they were introduced to general consumption, their widespread use today, and the environmental and introduction to plastics and plastic pollution. Brief on how plastics have become embedded in modern society yet are now among the largest contributors to environmental issues due to plastic particles. Part 1. The discovery and inception of plastics. 1. Early discoveries of synthetic plastics. In 1869, John Wesley Hyatt developed the first man-made plastic, celluloid, as a substitute for ivory, which was primarily used for billiard balls. Hyatt's invention marked the beginning of the synthetic plastic era, paving the way for more discoveries and industrial applications. 2. The birth of modern plastics, Bakelite and beyond. Bakelite, the first fully synthetic plastic, was developed in 1907 by Leo Baekeland. Unlike celluloid, Bakelite could be molded and hardened, making it heat-resistant and stable. Bakelite quickly found uses in electrical insulators, radios, and telephones, which highlighted its immense potential. 3. World War II and the expansion of plastic production. During World War II, plastics became essential for military supplies due to shortages of traditional materials like rubber. Nylon, developed by DuPont, replaced silk in parachutes and ropes. This era demonstrated plastics' versatility and durability, which led to their integration into consumer goods post-war. Part 2. The proliferation of plastics in consumer products. 1. The post-war boom in plastics as a household staple. After World War II, plastic manufacturing surged, with companies producing affordable and durable goods for the growing middle class. Plastic items like Tupperware, toys, and household items became widely popular. By the 1960s, polyethylene and polyvinyl chloride, PVC, were key players in packaging, construction, and textiles. 2. The role of marketing in mainstream adoption. Plastic was marketed as a modern convenience, promoted for being lightweight, versatile, and inexpensive. Advertising campaigns in the 1950s and 60s associated plastics with progress and the future, cementing them in the collective psyche as essential. 3. Plastic becomes disposable. The culture of disposability became prominent in the 1970s as single-use plastics, such as plastic bags and water bottles, were introduced. These products were cheap to produce and convenient for consumers, but laid the groundwork for large-scale plastic waste. Part 3. The challenge of plastic particles and environmental impact. 1. Microplastics, a growing concern. Microplastics, or plastic particles smaller than 5 millimeters, enter ecosystems through plastic waste fragmentation and can persist for centuries. Primary microplastics come from products like cosmetics, while secondary microplastics result from the breakdown of larger plastic items. They are ingested by marine life, thereby entering the food chain. 2. Environmental and health risks. Plastic particles absorb toxins from their surroundings and release harmful chemicals as they degrade. Studies have shown that microplastics can carry pollutants, impacting wildlife health and potentially human health when they enter food sources. 3. Biodegradability and recycling challenges. Most plastics are non-biodegradable, persisting in landfills and the environment. Recycling rates remain low, and plastics that are recycled often downcycle in quality. This cycle results in only a small percentage of plastics ever being effectively reused. Part 4. The economic and social costs of plastic pollution. 1. Economic burden of plastic pollution. Plastic pollution costs billions annually in cleanup efforts, lost tourism, and fisheries decline. Coastal communities and low-income regions are disproportionately affected by the economic burdens of plastic pollution. 2. Healthcare costs associated with plastic-related pollution. Exposure to plastic particles and chemicals like BPA can lead to respiratory and reproductive health issues and endocrine disruption, creating additional strain on healthcare systems. 3. The future of plastic, innovations and alternatives. Emerging technologies in biodegradable plastics, bio-based polymers, and improved recycling processes aim to mitigate the environmental impacts. But large-scale adoption requires regulatory support and consumer education. Plastics are made primarily from petrochemical-derived polymers, and their preparation involves synthesizing these polymers through a series of chemical processes. Depending on the desired properties, additives like stabilizers, plasticizers, or colorants are mixed in to achieve different characteristics. Manufacturing process of plastics. The production of plastics begins with raw materials such as crude oil or natural gas, which are refined to produce ethylene and propylene, the building blocks of most synthetic plastics. The process typically involves several stages. 1. Polymerization, the fundamental step in plastic production, where small molecules, monomers, are chemically bonded to form long chains known as polymers. This can happen through processes like addition polymerization, e.g., polyethylene, or condensation polymerization, e.g., nylon. 2. Compounding. After polymerization, plastics are mixed with additives, e.g., plasticizers, UV stabilizers, to enhance their properties. This step helps to tailor the plastic for specific uses, such as increased flexibility or UV resistance. 3. Forming. Once the material is compounded, it is shaped through processes like extrusion, injection molding, blow molding, or rotational molding. These methods depend on the end product's requirements, whether it's a plastic bottle, a car bumper, or a plastic film. 4. Cooling and solidifying. After the plastic is formed, it needs to cool and solidify. Depending on the type of plastic, cooling methods like air, water baths, or refrigerants are used. Once solidified, the product is ready for further finishing and assembly processes. Primary industries using plastics and plastic particles. Plastics have become a cornerstone of various industries, each utilizing the material for its flexibility, lightweight nature, and cost-effectiveness. Here are some of the primary industries. 1. Packaging industry. This is the largest consumer of plastics, using materials like polyethylene and polypropylene to make bags, bottles, containers, and wrappers. The ability to mold plastic into various shapes and its durability make it ideal for protecting goods during transportation and storage. 2. Automotive industry. Plastics are used extensively in cars, trucks, and other vehicles for parts like bumpers, dashboards, interior panels, and fuel tanks. The lightweight nature of plastics helps reduce vehicle weight, improving fuel efficiency. 3. Healthcare industry. Plastics in healthcare are used for medical devices, packaging for sterile equipment, syringes, and even prosthetics. The use of plastic reduces costs and enables the mass production of essential medical tools and disposables. 4. Consumer electronics. The electronics industry uses plastic in products such as mobile phones, laptops, televisions, and more. The insulating properties and flexibility of plastics make them ideal for housing electronic components. 5. Construction industry. Plastics are used for insulation, pipes, and window frames. PVC, in particular, is a common material in plumbing and building applications because of its durability and resistance to moisture. 6. Fashion industry. The introduction of plastic in the fashion industry has shifted the whole perception of cost-effective and benefits. Plastic has been slowly replacing cotton, linen, etc. Almost anything you see in your wardrobe nowadays has at least some plastic into its properties. 7. House furniture, household textiles, household or kitchen utensils and containers, cookware, tableware, artificial grass contain the biggest and largest consumption in size of plastic usage. In its own, it is not an industry as it may overlap some industries. However, due to its size and its grip in the consumer's lives, it is essential to be mentioned here. Environmental and health concerns. Despite the many benefits of plastics, their environmental and health impacts are significant and concerning. The disposal of plastic waste, especially single-use plastics, has led to pollution in oceans and landfills, as plastics do not biodegrade easily. Over time, plastics break down into microplastics, which have been found in oceans, rivers, and even the human body. It was a World War cost-saving necessity, now needs to belong in the museums. 1. Health impacts of plastic additives. Certain additives used in plastic manufacturing, such as phthalates and bisphenol A, BPA, have been linked to health issues. Studies have shown that prolonged exposure to these chemicals can disrupt endocrine function, potentially leading to developmental and reproductive issues in humans. 2. Environmental impact. Plastics contribute significantly to environmental pollution. Microplastics have been discovered in marine ecosystems, affecting wildlife. Fish and birds often ingest these particles, mistaking them for food, which can lead to starvation or poisoning. Additionally, plastic production contributes to carbon emissions, which exacerbate climate change. 3. Economic impact. The economic impact of plastic production and disposal is significant. In the short term, plastics are cheaper to produce than alternatives like glass or metal, which is why industries favor them. However, in the long run, the costs associated with plastic pollution, cleanup efforts, and health impacts can far outweigh the initial savings. Governments and organizations are now pushing for the development of biodegradable plastics and more sustainable alternatives. The movement to reduce plastic usage made a wrong turn, especially in Australia. Instead of reducing plastic production, it forced consumers to buy at first the plastic bags and later, depending on the industry or seller, offering durable plastic bags or paper bags. This effort is compared to put a bandage on a big infected wound. Conclusion. Plastics have profoundly transformed modern society, offering countless benefits for some industries, and cost reduction and easy production in general. Plastics, although are posing serious environmental challenges, the movement to stop production is so slow that is laughable. From their initial discovery and post-war boom to the pervasive issue of microplastics, the journey of plastics serves as a reminder of the complexities of innovation and resistance to change of the main production players due to choosing costs effectiveness and profiteering versus wide environmental impact and general health and welfare of the impacted plastic users. While plastics are indispensable in various sectors, the environmental costs have forced a re-evaluation. Addressing this issue requires combined efforts in policy, corporate responsibility, and consumer behavior to create a more sustainable relationship with plastic materials. While industries continue to rely on plastic materials, innovations in biodegradable alternatives, and stronger regulations on plastic waste management will play a crucial role in mitigating their long-term impact. Today in Health Episode 9, we addressed plastics and plastic particles. When plastics were discovered for the first time, how were they introduced into the general product consumption? How plastic materials are prepared and the industries that use plastic and plastic particles. We have discussed the benefits of eating organic, non-GMO, and pesticide and chemical-free foods. In other videos up to video 8, we have discussed chemicals into our cooking appliances that extend into the earth, air, and water, the hazard ingredients on our food and cosmetic products. Today we just started another delicate topic, plastic consumption behavior, which will be in the next few episodes. The next episodes will go deeper to discuss the use and effect of plastics and how all affect your lives, your general well-being, and your financial well-being. You will find links for the Today research and topic. If you found these tips helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more educational and inspirational content to help you achieve personal and spiritual growth. Achieving a better life, healthier and financially healthy, will allow you to achieve faster and more effective personal and spiritual growth. Thank you for investing your time with us. Take care, stay healthy, wealthy, and enlightened.